What's going on, guys, and welcome back to a new video. And today we're going to be talking about, as you can see in the title, we're going to go over the Bucks. We're going to go over the Francisco Lindor trade. We're going to go over the playoffs today. But before we get into the content, make sure to like this video, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content. So that would be much appreciated. All right, let's get into it. So the Milwaukee Bucks went 3-4 this past week with 2 victories over the Detroit Pistons and a loss to the Jazz on Friday night, and a win last night over the Cleveland Cavaliers without Giannis, by the way. Monday and Wednesday, they were both 15-point victories. Could have been more, but we obviously rested our starters, so of course it's going to be a closer game than it should have been. But yeah, Giannis in the first game, he had 43 points, 9 rebounds, and 4 assists. He was going off that game. He's been going off. Yeah. But yeah. But this first game was actually the game that Killian Hayes got that hip injury. That's similar to Isaiah Thomas and his hip. So I hope he gets better. Obviously, the Pistons need a star for the future. Killian Hayes.
Yeah.
Killian Hayes was going to be the point guard of the future, and still will probably be the point guard of the future. Derrick Rose is probably going to get dealt at the deadline. I would be shocked if he survives past the deadline. I would be absolutely shocked if he doesn't get traded before or at the trade deadline. Middleton, he's been doing pretty good. He had 19 points efficiently. 6 turnovers is kind of yikes, but at the same time, it's whatever. Drew Holiday, 15 points. He hasn't really scored the basketball. He hasn't really gone off. He's been doing pretty good defensively, too. But, obviously as a third option, he's not going to get you about 20 points a game, even though that's what I thought he'd be doing. But he's been doing pretty good. Yeah, he's been getting those steals. He's been doing pretty good. Brook Lopez, 8 points, 7 rebounds. Yeah. We won this game 125-115. The second game, 130-115. We won. Giannis had 25 points in 28 minutes. He had 8 rebounds and 4 assists. Middleton, 23 points. Brook, 17. Drew Holiday was kind of inefficient with 10 points. Bobby Portis had 16 and 10 off the bench. Jordan Nora had 11 points in 14 minutes. I don't understand why he doesn't get playing time. I'll get to that later, though. We're going to get to that later. Thanasis even got playing time, for crud's sake. But he went a perfect 4 of 4 from the field. He didn't take a 3, which is why he was perfect from the field. But yeah, we won that game. Friday, I didn't see the game except for a couple minutes on my break. Giannis at 35, Middleton 31, Holiday 17, Brook 12, Dante 11. But Jordan Nora only had 7 minutes and 4 points. Screw you, bud. The bench only had 12 bench points. And 5 different players scored, and they had 12 total bench points. And a man that I think needs to step it up is DJ Augustine. he's been inefficient at all. He's been terrible this season, basically. He's averaging 5.8 points, 34% from the field, 37% from three. You know, I mean, there's going to be one game where he's super efficient, but then there's going to be another game where he goes 0 of 5 from field. You know, it's kind of frustrating. But Cleveland, this is where I'm about to rage a little bit. Why didn't Jordan Nora play this game? Why didn't Sam Merrill play this game?
I don't know.
This would have been the perfect time to give either Jordan Nora or Sam Merrill at least. Jordan Nora, I think, should have started, maybe. Okay, that's debatable. Probably not, but, like, at least been the sixth man.
Uh-huh.
I just don't understand it. He should have played over Bryn Forbes, who went 0 of 3 from the field and 3. He didn't even do anything else. He didn't get an assist, a rebound, a steal, or a block. So he did absolutely shit. Thanasis only got 2 rebounds and 2 assists. He's useless on the field or on the court. Pat Connaughton, meh. DJ Wilson, I guess, was okay. Brooke Lopez struggled this game. Dante struggled this game. Drew Holiday had an alright game, a pretty good game. 4 steals, that's pretty good. Bobby Portis, 17 and 11, along with 4 steals. I didn't even notice that. That's good to see. Middleton, 27 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists. Jordan Nora should have gotten playing time in this game, along with Sam Merrill, dude. These guys are good, but Bud just refuses to play them.
That's a problem. I mean,
now I guess you can kind of not fault him for the Jazz game because maybe it was a little bit of a closer game and you want more of experienced veteran players in there. Okay, I get that. I kind of get that. You know, it's a big game, or it's not really. It's kind of a big game, but at the same time, it's not. But it's a close game, and you want, you know, your starters in there. Okay, cool. I get that. But when you're facing a rebuilding Cavs team, and you have no Giannis, give the young guys a chance and see what they got. I mean, here's one funny thing that I saw from this game. They had Damian Dotson. They had a starting, or they had the Cavaliers had these 5 players on the court at the same time. They had Damian Dotson, Larry Nance Jr., Don Maker, JaVale McGee, and Andre Drummond on the floor at the same time. And it was a pretty big stretch too. 4 big men and a guard. I mean, obviously Damian Dotson can, I guess, play point guard too. I don't know, but what? When I saw that on live TV, I'm like, what is JB Bickerstaff doing? This isn't 1990. This is freaking 2021. In 1990, this would be the perfect lineup. You got 4 bigs in there. But this isn't 1990. This is freaking 2021, and you don't even say that Okoro and Osman were injured. They both played 30 minutes this game. But you're just gonna put Nance, Drummond, not Love, he's out. McGee and Maker in there at the same time. That's hilarious. That's a joke. But I don't know. But moving on, to another Milwaukee team that just seems to love winning games and loves to spend money. Yeah, you can hear the sarcasm out of that voice. So the Milwaukee Brewers signed Pablo Reyes, right? Something like that.
Yep.
To a minor league contract, and he got suspended last year for drug possession, PED use. And in the same day, the New York Mets traded for Francisco Lindor. So I'm like, oh great, the Mets get a superstar and we get a druggie.
And also, don't forget they got Carlos Carrasco too.
Yeah, Carlos.
So the Mets got not just a superstar, they got a really good starter too.
Yeah, and the Indians get back 4 prospects. They get back like the Mets 2019 second round pick, prospect that I don't remember his name, and like 3 other guys that I heard could pan out. But yeah, the Brewers never want to win. I don't get it. I don't even think we've signed one guy except for that one catcher that I completely forgot his name to a major league contract. I don't even think we signed one guy to a major. I think we've been just signing a bunch of people to minor league deals.
They haven't even made any major moves.
Yeah,
not even like one guy.
I was gonna say, correct me if I'm wrong, but all we've been doing is signing a bunch of people to minor league contracts.
The Brewers don't figure something out here soon on that. Oh boy, they're gonna have an interesting off-season evaluation from us. Which that's a video we'll do at some point down the line.
Yeah. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Like, you know, obviously the coronavirus pandemic stopped the season. It was only a 60-game regular season plus an expanded playoffs. Obviously, that's going to hurt revenue because obviously no fans and no merchandise sales. I mean, obviously online, but, no concessions, which are freaking expensive. But yeah, you're losing a bunch of revenue. Every team loses revenue. I get it. No fans equals no revenue at all. But what bothers me is that they're making a shit ton of money still from TV contracts. And they also got a boost from playoff revenue. Because, well, apparently teams that made the postseason, they got a good amount of playoff revenue. And people are still buying merchandise like I did for some reason at full price instead of waiting like an idiot.
Oh yeah, I got some good deals on Fanatics.
Yeah, my impatient ass decided not to wait, but whatever. That's
I got my King Yelich jerseys for a steal of a price.
Yeah, that's not relevant. But I'm like, you're getting merch sales, you're getting TV revenue. Spend the money, for fuck's sake.
Well, here's the thing with the Brewers. You could tell they're going cheap once they decided not to bring back Grandal and Moose. I mean, this was even before Corona was a thing.
Exactly. And yeah, that kind of made me annoyed. That kind of annoyed me. I mean, people are gonna say, "Oh, well, the Bucks they went cheap by not re-signing Brogdon." Okay, but we re-signed a bunch of guys. It's not like we let Brooke Lopez walk. George Hill at the time, it's not like we let him walk. It's not like we didn't extend Bledsoe to that contract. They actually spent the money on their core to make Giannis happy. What the fuck are we doing with Yelich? Who is he going to be playing with next season? Like Kane, freaking who's in the infield? Arias, Arcia. Can they even play together?
And that's about all I can think of right now.
Like, you gotta feel bad for Yelich. And I think if I'm Yelich, I freaking step my foot down. You give me help or I'm out. Get me out. I mean, I know he just signed that big extension, which is probably going to be very difficult to trade. And I think the Brewers would take a a cap penalty if they actually ended up trading him. I don't know. I don't know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know. But man, do something.
Yeah, that's the thing with the Brewers. You can see they're going cheap, and now Corona's just gonna cover it.
That's gonna make them get excuses like, "Oh, we Corona." But yet the Yankees are still gonna be freaking spending millions and millions, hundreds of millions of dollars every offseason.
And you got the Mets spending like no problem now.
Yeah, they got Francisco Lindor and that pitcher, I forgot his name already, Carlos.
Carlos Carrasco.
Yeah, but anyway, moving on to football. So it was promoted as Super Wild Card Weekend, where they had 3 games Saturday and 3 games Sunday. The 3 games Saturday, the Buffalo Bills and the Indianapolis Colts, was actually a pretty good game.
Yep.
Where the Bills ended up winning 27-24. But yeah, let's just say that the Bills almost choked. If it wasn't for some bullshit, or the Bills almost choked, but they got some pretty bad calls on them. There were so many reviews in this game. There was like 5, I believe, within the final 2 minutes of the first half. They had like 5 reviews. I'm like, will this game ever end? Well,
and then, I remember that.
Yeah. And then the end of the game, there was a review that fucked over the Bills. It was like an incomplete pass or something. I don't remember, but it was a bad call. And it ended up getting the Colts a new set of downs anyway, or something like that. And I'm like, okay, well, that's a bullshit call. And I knew it was going to be a bad call once they took forever. Because usually when they take forever, they're going to get it wrong every single time. But, yeah, the Bills won there. So now the new scenarios is if the Ravens, or the new scenarios were Ravens win and the Browns win, the Browns would take on the Chiefs, and then the Ravens would take on the Bills. But before that, the Rams beat the Seahawks. I thought Jared Goff was out for the game due to his thumb, but I guess he wasn't. And the crazy thing about this is that Goff only went 9 of 19 throwing for 155 and a touchdown, while Cam Akers went 28 rushes for 131 and a touchdown. That's crazy. Seattle had a really rough time trying to even mount offense. Wilson got sacked 5 times.
And Seattle's going to have a tough time trying to add good talent, as I sent you that Jamal Adams trade, what they gave up yesterday.
They gave up 2 first-round picks in 2020 and 2021, and they gave up a second-round draft pick.
Was it 21 and 22, I thought?
Oh, I don't remember.
So, yeah, they essentially got no first-round pick now for the next 2 years, and...
Yeah, you're right. 2021 first and second round picks. Or no, 2021 first and third round picks, and a 2022 first round pick, and safety Bradley McDougald, but I don't really think he's good, for Jamal Adams, and a 2022 fourth round pick. Yeah.
Seattle better, they're going to have to find some underrated talent here. Because they don't have anything for the next few years now.
Yeah, they're fucked. But yeah, it's not good. they're gonna need to definitely find like some 7th round Tom Brady to get him back in. But yeah, um, but then the football team lost to the Buccaneers 31-23 despite a very good story in Taylor Heineke leading the football team to a near victory. And that was actually pretty fun to watch. I'm like, oh my god, the football team might have a shot here. And honestly, I would have rather have had them win because if they would have won, then I'm like, okay, the Seahawks are gonna win tomorrow, and then the Saints would have won. So then we would have faced the football team. That would have been an easy win. And then we would face either the Saints or the Seahawks. And I'm like, okay, great scenarios. But another scenario, a great scenario, would have been the Bears win, football team win, and then somehow the Bears, or then the football team makes it to the NFC title game. We beat them. But that won't happen.
Scenario though too. We got the Rams. That's about as good as you can ask for.
Yeah. So after the Rams won, the new scenario was if the Bears win, we face the Bears, but if the Saints win, we face the Rams. And the Saints ended up winning. But before that, the Ravens actually revenged last year with a victory over the Tennessee Titans, 20-13. And the key to this game was slowing down Derrick Henry. They stopped him for once. Henry had nowhere to go. His longest run was an 8-yard run in the fourth quarter. He went down for 18 rushes for 40 yards, averaged 2.2 yards per carry, no touchdowns. So you mean, okay, well, they're going to do it from the air. They're going to win it through the air. Tannehill went 18 of 26 for a $165, one touchdown to one interception. And that interception ended up losing them the game at the end of the game. And then he also got sacked once. So yeah, that was how they won that game. They slowed down Derrick Henry. Lamar Jackson now can put a check mark to his first playoff victory in his career. And if history's repeated itself, Lamar Jackson, or a franchise QB getting their first playoff win, could end up making them a Super Bowl favorite. Because if you remember back in 2010, Aaron Rodgers got his first ever playoff victory on the road versus the Eagles in the wild card game, then went on to win the Super Bowl. Glorious times.
That was a fun year. I still remember that.
Yeah, and then, well, they're going to do it again this year. Hopefully.
That's my hope.
Yeah. And then the Nickelodeon game, the Saints and the Bears. My God. God, dude. Nickelodeon. Oh, Jesus. If you're going to do it, have better commentators. That's all I'm going to say about that. There's a bunch of cringe from the commentary team. Obviously, it's Nickelodeon broadcast. They're obviously not going to have like a bunch of boring guys up there. They're going to want people that know the game and shit like that. But whatever. And then the Browns and the Steelers. Oh my God, dude. This game was epic. This game was legit amazing. So at the beginning of the game, I turn on the game, and the first play I watch is the snap from Mike Pouncey going over Ben Roethlisberger's head, and it went into the end zone for a Browns touchdown after they recovered it. And then I go upstairs, I get some food, and I come back down, and the Browns have the football again. I'm like, wait, what the hell happened? And they show Ben interception. I'm like, oh my frick, what the what? And then it's 28-0 after the first quarter, and I'm like, whoa, what is this actually real? And then the Steelers actually went on a 16 unanswered point run, but then of course the Browns, they got ahead in the fourth quarter, finished it, and it was ended up 48-37 victory. And even more impressive, they didn't have their head coach. They didn't practice. That's even more impressive. You go out and you freaking dominate with barely any practice and no head coach. That's got to be even more of a victory.
Yeah, that's why I chose the Steelers.
I actually chose the Browns on this one. If you go back and watch my last minute predictions, because you texted me at like 6 in the morning. I'm like, you should know that I'm never awake at 6 in the morning.
I seen you retweet something. I'm like, oh, hey, he's up. Maybe we'll get something going.
I don't remember what day that was, but I retweet a lot.
Saturday morning, I woke up at like 5:30. I'm like, okay, decided to text to see if you're off, and then all of a sudden, like 5 minutes later, I seen you retweeted something. I'm like, oh, hey, he's up. Maybe we'll get something going.
I think that was a pass thing, because I was not up at 6 in the morning Saturday. I woke up at like 9:30, 10 o'clock, something like that.
Oh, then what the heck was that?
I don't know. Actually, it might have been, don't get me wrong, it might have been that follower thing or something that, tracks who unfollowed me or something.
Yeah, that's what it was, I believe.
Oh, that does that manually. I don't do that. It does it manually.
And it also said you were active now on there as well.
Oh, well, I don't know, whatever. But I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna be. I'm like, yeah, he's not gonna be here. I might as well just do my own prediction, like last minute, and upload it. And yeah, but I think that's gonna be it for me. Wait, what? You cracked up.
Rams, Saints versus Buccaneers and that.
Oh, fuck that. Thank you. Thank you. I completely forgot about that. So next week, the schedule is Saturday. It's going to be Packers and the Rams, 3:35 on Fox. Ravens and Bills is going to be on Saturday at 7:15 on NBC, I think. Pretty sure. Yep, NBC. Sunday, it's going to be Browns and Chiefs on CBS, and then the Buccaneers and Saints on Fox. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be a lot of fun. Of course, we get the first game, which is kind of a good thing. Get it out of the way, and then we can focus on who we face. If we win, we fucking better win.
Yeah, we better win that game for the Packers anyway.
Yeah, but it's kind of a good thing because it's like, okay, we get the first game, get it out of the way, and then move on.
I seen there are some people complaining in the comments why the Packers weren't a primetime game. So obviously they're going to give it to Tom Brady and Drew Brees. I mean, that was pretty obvious. They're going to give it to
I don't care about primetime games. It's actually better earlier so we can get out of the way.
Same, but there were some people complaining about that why the Packers versus Rams game wasn't that's like, well, obviously they're going to give it to Brady versus Brees versus the Packers probably annihilating the Rams.
Yeah. What game would you rather watch on a prime time?
Hell, honestly, I'd rather see
Frickin'
Brady. I'm a Packer fan.
yeah. What sounds better? What's more marketable? Rams versus Packers with Jared Goff versus Rodgers, or a 43-year-old Tom Brady versus a 41-year-old Drew Brees. Two quarterbacks who probably won't even be playing next year. I mean, maybe Brady will be. I don't know, but this
Brady
might
probably.
be Drew Brees' last year.
When I say it, so obviously they're going to pick the Buccaneers versus Saints. Tom Brady versus Drew Brees. That's a
That's more marketable.
way more marketable, and two Hall of Fame quarterbacks going at one another.
Meanwhile, you got either Jared Goff or a third stringer versus Rodgers. Because who knows what Goff is going to be like with his thumb injury, even though he played last week. Maybe something happens in like the first play and then it's a third stringer.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. It's you. I'm a Packer fan, and yeah, prime time should be Brees versus Brady's. That's more of a more marketable and more. Well, you got two Hall of Fame quarterbacks going on one another, or future Hall of Fame quarterbacks, I should say.
Yeah, I
Way
agree.
more.
I agree with you on that. I just hope we freaking win. We fucking better. We better. Ah, man.
Yeah, that's yeah. I'm guessing we will, but I'm not gonna guarantee anything though.
Yeah.
Playoffs.
So my record last week 1-0, 1-1, 2-1, 2-2. I was 4-2. Not bad, not bad. I said Bills to the AFC Championship game. I said Seahawks to the NFC Championship game. Buccaneers to the divisional. Ravens, or I said Titans over the Ravens. I said Saints win. And I said, I'm going to go Browns over the Steelers. So I was 4-2 last week. Hopefully I'm 4-0 next week. I picked Packers, Bills, Chiefs. Well, now I'm gonna go Saints because I originally picked Seattle. I'm gonna go Saints maybe because they did dominate, but you never know. Buccaneers could upset. Those are my picks for next week. Locked in. I'm locking it in.
That's pretty much what I had going to the championship game. That's what I had for both sides. Chiefs versus Bills, and then Packers versus Saints in the NFC and AFC championship game.
Yeah, I don't care about the AFC side, but I want to see the Packers win.
Well, if the Packers win the NFC, then yeah, I want to see who wins the AFC, of course. See who would be playing in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but that's gonna be it for us. Make sure to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe for more. Go Pack Go, and we're out.